Aging narcissists, what happens as they grow older? Hello and welcome. We're focusing our topic today on elderly narcissists. Do they find it tough to accept the inevitable passage of time? In other words, will they progress? What I want to know is if they change, if at all, and if it's for the better or worse. Another important concern is what will happen to their loved ones in the outside world. How do those closest to the narcissist feel as the narcissist gets older? Answering these questions is difficult for me because I believe there will always be exceptions. For the time being, though, let's focus on some of the more common issues that narcissists experience as they become older and the possible solutions to those issues. For that reason, I'm posting this video in the hopes that you'll like it and then subscribe to my channel. It's worth noting that a sense of entitlement is a common trait among narcissists. A person can be selfish and argumentative. Individuals that exhibit this feature may be extremely sensitive, unwilling to accept criticism, and emotionally detached. Those who thrive in authoritative roles often exhibit manipulative tendencies because of their love of power and control. First of all, they may have lost touch with the friends and lovers they formerly had if they didn't cultivate those ties while they were younger. Maybe they just picked up and went on with their lives. It's possible that other people abandoned them for their own safety. Narcissists are just like the rest of us in that they experience feelings of isolation at times. However, extreme depression is a possible side effect for them. Therefore, narcissists may endeavor to draw others into their life or re-engage those who have previously drifted away by highlighting their attractive qualities, material success, or other advantageous factors. Many narcissists experience a type of denial in their mid-30s. Some narcissists are extremely vain, perceiving themselves to be more physically attractive than they actually are. It's hard to believe, though, that they will lose their attractiveness over time. Even when they reach middle age, many narcissists still have difficulty becoming unduly sensitive to their own advancing years. It's possible that some narcissists will try to age backward. They may spend a lot of money on hair dye, new clothes, and anti-aging lotions in an attempt to fake a youthful appearance. It's possible that some narcissists have an attraction to, or even have affairs with younger partners. After reaching middle age, narcissistic mothers frequently try to emulate the appearance of their daughters. Being said something encouraging like, "You look more like sisters," can do wonders for their self-esteem. To the point of trying to charm or seduce their daughters' boyfriends, some narcissistic parents go to extremes. On the other hand, the children of a narcissistic father would treat them like a king. A narcissistic father would think of themselves as the head of the whole family, not just the household. Potential rivals include each other, and even their offspring are not excluded. Narcissists brag about their superior accomplishments in comparison to others their age. Sometimes, when it comes to their children, narcissistic parents also take away all the spotlight. Those kids might be discouraged, criticized, or sabotaged. They tend to say things like, "That's all because of me," when they hear that a child has achieved something on their own. Now, if the narcissist is having problems talking with their adult children and one of those children has a partner, and the two of them have reconciled as a couple with good boundaries in place, the narcissist may try to get around by communicating with their grandchildren. Oftentimes, narcissistic grandparents will give their grandchildren their own cell phones so they may contact them at any time. To win them over, narcissists would shower them with gifts and attention in ways that their parents would frown upon. The parents' disapproval is often used to cast the parents in a bad light, which may have been the narcissist's intention all along. Now, if their children's marriages fail and they blame themselves for interfering too much, they might try to completely trash the ex-spouse in an effort to keep their grandchildren from bonding with them. While most parents would continue to provide for their own children after a divorce, there are some cases in which one parent will choose to provide financial support to their ex-spouse instead. They listen, encourage, and provide useful feedback. It becomes increasingly difficult for narcissists to maintain their fragile false sense of self as they age. They weaken and become less attractive as they lose the physical abilities that made them who they were. As a result, they have a reduced sex drive, making it harder to deceive themselves. They may reflect extensively on their previous achievements. They try to win someone over by boasting about their former achievements, saying things like, It's sad that today's youngsters just do not possess the tools necessary to achieve the level of success that their parents and grandparents did. The current generation of youth has it far simpler than earlier generations did. It was imperative that they stepped up their game. Then there are those who, instead of growing up, might become astonishingly immature. Throwing a tantrum as a means of protest when one's wishes are rejected is still very much a thing today. They can get extremely hostile at times. It's likely it may happen over time, at which point they would start whining about how unfairly they've been treated and how society has wrongly handled them. They've discussed failed relationships, failed plans, and the consequences of poor judgment. No one will believe them if they say they had to sacrifice their dreams to support their families. They might hold a grudge against their exes or whoever they believe is to blame for their plight. As people have more time to think about their difficulties, they become more bitter and angry. I also noticed that narcissists had a bad habit of harboring resentment for extended periods of time. Narcissistic wounds, even if decades old, can feel as new and painful as the day they were inflicted. This is how narcissists remember whatever wrongdoing they've experienced. The times they were self-centered and nasty were likely exceptions, though, so they tried to look past them. Narcissists avoid responsibility for their actions and feel shame when others point them out. They will always see themselves as the victim, no matter how much damage they have done or how many people they have taken advantage of. As a result, it's feasible that negative tendencies persist. In addition, narcissists may regret acting in a way that pushes away the few individuals they care about if they act on their need for revenge. Further, control and manipulation can manifest in persons of any age for a variety of reasons. If they are lonely or alone, they may not know how to ask for help. Narcissists should instead think of other ways to achieve their goals, whether they are wants or needs. Yet again, this could backfire if people figure out how to cease providing help or find more polite methods to decline requests. Guilt and humiliation are sometimes used in this manipulation, as in, "After all I've done for you, I haven't much longer to go." Keep in mind that old narcissists sometimes resent seeing their influence and authority dwindle as newer generations rise to prominence. Maybe they've had enough time to master the subtleties of coercion and power dynamics by virtue of their extended lifespans. Next, a history of unexplained medical problems may be present. This is particularly common in those who are covert narcissists. The useless doctor can be seen as often as desired without improving the situation. In terms of treatment, nothing has worked so far. There is currently no treatment available for this condition. They're in constant pain and there's no hope for improvement. They'll always remember the time their skull cracked open, the bullet that ripped through their brain, the sports injury they'll never get over, etc. It's likely that they don't have long left to live. Putting on a brave front in public may require them to fake a smile, even if their own grandchildren aren't actually that excited to see them. Surprisingly, though, they are typically able to overcome their health difficulties and quickly recover when they are engaged in activities that they appreciate. Older narcissists, on the other hand, often exhibit self-destructive, hostile behavior that has built up over decades. Their actions over the years have alienated a lot of people, so there may still be a lot of arrogance but much less confidence. They may eventually learn to rely on others for assistance as they age and become less mobile, but they may have trouble doing so due to their behavior. It's possible that they won't have many allies or many options to choose from. Having a narcissistic breakdown might happen at any time. They arrive at the point where they realize they have nowhere to go and nobody to talk to or turn to for assistance. Their deception and lies have been exposed as such, rendering them useless. There is no longer a vulnerable population to exploit. Their desperation may increase. To answer your last question, let's consider the effects that aging narcissists have on their loved ones. I think it's normal for them to feel awkward or even confused when they see the narcissist they care about deteriorate with age. Some people may hold grudges against their abusers because they remember the pain they were caused. They might feel remorse, however. They have reached the end of their tether with that person due to their constant criticism, lies, demands for more, and lack of reciprocity. There is still pity for them to this day. You may feel compelled to reach out to that person, even though you haven't spoken to them in years, if you find out that they are seriously ill. In the final stages, the narcissist may surprise you by showing signs of improvement. They are out of justifications for dishonesty and have nothing to gain from continuing it. This might be a good chance to work toward reconciliation. People may get the apology and resolution they've been craving from the narcissist at last. Although I cannot guarantee that narcissists will change for the better with age, some research suggests that this may be the case. One could make the case that when there is no one else to lie to, no reason to lie, and nothing to gain, narcissists are more likely to be honest with themselves. Recognize the wrongdoing for what it is and apologize. They may experience a wide range of regrets after realizing how little they care about their isolation. Everyone they've ever met is aware of what a horrible young adult they were. They might gain from being more humble. To sum up, that's the gist of the elderly narcissist. As always, you know where you need to go if you want to ask questions or make suggestions. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Have a nice day.